We're Meg and Morgs. We've just spent the past 9 months backpacking our way through Southeast Asia. We're now in Australia, ready to embark on our biggest adventure yet. We've bought a converted four-wheel drive and plan to drive a full lap of this incredible country. We have absolutely no clue how long it's going to take or the adventures that are going to happen on the way, but that's just part of the fun. Join us today as the adventure continues.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're Meg and Morgs, and in today's video we are going to be attempting to four-wheel drive Kagari Island by ourselves. So usually you go on sort of a 3-day, 2-day tour, but we've actually got a four-wheel drive and it's so much cheaper to do it ourselves.
Yeah, so I know the Mitsubishi Outlander that we have isn't like the most ideal four-wheel drive to do it with, but the people that owned the car before us took it on the island and had no problems.
Yeah.
Plus also, due to the sort of like wet and rainy weather that we've had over the past week or so, we spoke to some people at the information centre for, we're in Hervey Bay at the moment, I think it's called, and yeah, they said that the rainy weather will have basically sort of like hardened the surface inland, so it'll be a lot easier to drive on. But we do have four-wheel drive, but we don't have sort of like the low range on the gearbox, which would be more helpful. We've got like
a make it manual as well.
Yeah, so we're going to make it manual and then put the four-wheel drive lock on, which gives like more torque to the back wheels. So it should basically
and we
help
bought
us.
a shovel in case we need to dig our way out.
But there's going to be quite a few other people on the island, so I mean, it's going to be all right. We've decided to camp at this place called Dilly's as well.
Yeah.
Just because it's got like, it's a nice private campground with showers and that sort of stuff. Most people sort of do camp at one of the government campsites because it's a lot cheaper. So the government ones are like $6 per night, I think, or like $7 per night, but this one will be like $20 for the two of us. Is that right? Yeah. So that's all right. We'll stay there for 2 nights on the island. But the past couple of days has literally just been us driving.
Yeah, so such a long
driving
drive.
all the way down from Early Beach.
Yeah.
So here, so it's like 10 hours worth of driving done over 2 days. So we did 3 hours today and like 7 hours yesterday.
Yeah. But I mean, there's like a cool food and live music festival going on that we'll probably have a walk through.
And then we're just at the beach now, but the weather's not the
ferries
best.
at 10 AM tomorrow.
Good morning. We spent the evening at the in the car park of the visitor centre just because it was like a free camp spot. We just sat down by the water's edge and cooked some breakfast, used the toilet, that sort of thing, got ready for today, packed up the boot. And yeah, now we're
turn left onto Boat Harbour Drive, State Route 57.
Sorry.
But we're just having a short drive now across to the Hervey Bay port.
Like the Riverheads ferry bar.
Riverheads, yeah.
Ticket office. You have to get there half an hour before your ferry leaves. Because I only booked this a few weeks ago, the earliest barge of the day that was available was 10:30.
Yeah.
Obviously it would have been ideal to have the morning there, but it's one of those things. And also, the days that we're going, the tides are not great.
It's not favourable for us, so we've got to work to a sort of like a tight schedule.
Yeah.
Because the lady at the information centre basically said that it's sort of like perfect if you've got the tides at low tide at the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of have 2 hours before and 2 hours afterwards of driving along the beach. But we've kind of got some
high tide basically smack bam in the middle of the day,
so
and low tide at like sunrise and sunset. So obviously if you're not constrained by the tide times, you're constrained by the actual light.
Because you shouldn't really be driving in the dark just because of the numerous amounts of hazards like creeks,
And
dingoes, like huge bits of soft sand that you might not see, that sort of thing. And especially because we're not in like a huge like a Toyota Land Cruiser type rig, we haven't got the margin for error, then what you might in a different car.
Yeah.
So we've got to do it to a tight schedule, but we've made a plan and we spoke to the people at the...
They were so helpful yesterday.
Centre, yeah.
Honestly, go speak to them. Like, they give you maps, they give you loads of information. They sorted out our vehicle permit and like gave us the actual thing to put in your window. If you don't have a clue, honestly, go to them. They'll sort everything out for you.
While we were in there was a French couple in there that literally didn't know anything, and they booked all their campsites and their ferries, and like gave them a full itinerary for everything that they wanted to do.
But I wouldn't recommend waiting to book your ferry.
No. Purely
because obviously we're quite lucky at the moment, but it's a Saturday as well, so obviously it's going to be more busy. But the lady said, like, particularly over Christmas, like, it books up so quick.
And it's apparently like super busy.
Yeah.
But luckily, we were able to. But I was just sort of like trying to say how helpful they were, because there was another couple, like an older couple, and they went in and they said, oh, could you find us like a tour to do of the island?
Yeah.
And then they found them a tour to do, and then they said, oh, like, we'll pick you up from your accommodation, and you just, that was all sorted for them as well. So yeah,
it's such a good resource here, because they've like all the way down the coast, the information centres and the visitor centres are so useful to go to, because they literally give you like printouts and maps and
booklets
full of information, which is free. So definitely make the most of them,
because they were really helpful for us in the South Island of New Zealand as well, particularly when we're in like some remote regions. We used to get dropped off by the bus somewhere like in the middle of nowhere,
where can we go hitchhike
and then how can we get there? Where's the best place for us to hitchhike from? And they'd like point you towards something. They said, oh, you shouldn't really hitchhike, but people that do hitchhike usually do so from there, and all that sort of thing. And they were super helpful there. But so that's just a little tip for you. But we're on the way now. We're feeling a bit nervous.
Yeah, I think it's just because obviously, like, as far as the driving goes, it's completely new. One good thing about this car is it is semi-automatic, so we can put it into manual and make sure that it's constantly in like sort of those low gears, so you've got more power basically. But yeah,
we've had a lot of rain recently as well, which will help compact the track. But I think we're just kind of like a bit nervous because it's
and
not
also a bit
something we've done before.
excited. Like,
definitely.
It's a good feeling to be nervous, We definitely learn a lot one way or the other.
We made our way down to the ferry port, and I pretended I knew what I was doing, releasing air from the tyres. We then backed our way onto the ferry, and due to the choppy seas, it took about just over an hour to get there.
I feel like I will pull to the side and let all the people in the big boy cars go past. They're all gonna know where they're going, and I'm just...
Okay, we're on the island after some very choppy waves on that boat trip, but Megan's took the first stint of driving. We've got the four-wheel drive on, driving on this sand. It's what would you describe your experience as at the moment, Megan?
I don't know, to be honest.
It's not quite like you need a nappy.
Yeah.
But it's
we've not got the music on, I'll say that.
It's a very novel experience. Yeah, it's a very novel experience for us. But
yeah, I've got it in manual, so it's on low gear. Got four-wheel drive lock on, so we've got more torque to each of the wheels. But even like reversing onto the ferry barge, and then there's like all these men who like obviously know a lot about cars just stood around watching me. Like, it's a lot of pressure, but yeah, we're getting there.
Megan's doing it for all the young women out there.
Yeah.
Strong, independent women.
All around me are familiar faces.
Okay, we had a bit of a disaster basically.
Yeah, it's not gone well.
We've got like 20 minutes down the track, and we basically hit this patch of sand that was pretty deep, like on the sides, but then like the middle was pretty high, so we basically just got bogged down. And yeah, luckily and thankfully we had the help of some lovely Australian people to try and help us, but they kindly as well didn't give us any, they didn't say any bullshit or anything like that. They just said, it gets worse further on if you're trying to get to Lake Mackenzie, although we were kind of close. you're going to be driving at like 10 kilometers an hour. You know, they've been chuttering along at like 30, 40, and you know, it's going to take us, one, it's going to take us all day, and two, we're going to be bogged down a lot. We don't have a tow bar on the front of the car either because of the grille. So although we do have four-wheel drive, it's kind of like, to the Australians it seems like this car isn't a four-wheel drive, if you know what I mean. Like the sort of cars that they're driving potentially versus this four-wheel drive is, yeah, like night and day really. It's like this one looks like a Nissan Micra or a Fiat Panda in comparison to, you know, the big Toyota Hiluxes and the Land Cruisers and all that sort of stuff. It's just... But
saying that, we do still have like 2 days here, so we're going to reassess options.
We're just going to basically go to the Tourist Information Centre and say, we couldn't go down the track to Mackenzie. Could you give us an opportunity to, like, just to do something?
What can we do? Yeah,
basically. What can we do? Can we, you know, it might be expensive to rent a four-wheel drive for a couple of days, but we're here now, aren't we? So it's kind of, we owe it to ourselves to sort something. Yeah. To do. Just went over a steep bit. Oh. It's all right, I think.
Oh no.
You can't do anything here. We're just gonna have to. There's a car coming our way basically, and we're on a steep hill. I think they're reversing back. You're all good. Just keep going. Oh, thank God. Yeah, this is just, if you've got a Mitsubishi Outlander, don't come on Fraser Island, I would say. You haven't got the clearance and you haven't got the
don't be
level.
Stupid bricks abroad like we are.
It's not that we were stupid, because we bought the car off, those people, they literally told us like, oh, you know, we took it on there and it was absolutely fine, we didn't even get stuck. But it's a different island every time you come here because of the way that the sand changes and stuff.
Thank you.
So yeah,
complete change of plans. Spent a lot of money, but we're sorted, and in the grand scheme of things, the money we've spent is probably less than one of the 3-day group tours still.
Yes.
So we can't be too upset.
So shall I
met some nice people.
We have met some lovely Australian people. So I'll take it back to the start. So we got back to the car park, spoke to the Australian people that helped us out of the sand. They said, oh, give us your phone number, come out with us to so there's a bloke, his wife and 2 kids, and they said, come out with us tomorrow morning, we'll go to Lake Mackenzie in the car. Like, so nice, bless him. So then we're like, oh, that sounds amazing, thank you so much. And so then we went to the four-wheel drive hire place. They said you could hire a car if you want for a day. That was like $440 plus $75 of like reg. So that's like 250 quid a day. So that was an option. But he said you can go over to the Kingfisher Resort, and then they have like day tours, and they go in these big like four-wheel drive bus things. You have to like see them to believe what they are. But they're basically not even like tied by the tides. They'll just drive through anything. And you can go from 8 till 4 in the afternoon. So maybe you could go and do a tour with them and still see the island.
The only problem was that we were booked onto the 3 PM ferry on Monday, but luckily they've changed it, so our booking, so we're on the 5 PM ferry on Monday now, which is what all the tour guides are on as well.
Yeah.
So basically tomorrow we are going out for the morning with the lovely family. Monday we've got a full day tour.
And then we're leaving in the evening.
Yeah.
Today we've got some nice walks to do on some walking tracks here.
Yeah, we'll probably just
hopefully
go for a nice
there might be a
walk.
gym
There's
here.
a pool,
Oh yeah,
gym.
we're staying at the Kingfisher Hotel as well. We've got one of like the medium rooms. I think it's like $250 a night. But the thing is, we're staying at like a 5-star hotel for 2 nights now.
I know, and we've been sleeping in the car.
I think I might go to bed in a couple of hours and wake up on Monday. So
set like 10 alarms.
It just is what it is, but like it just shows you travel doesn't always go to plan. However, you know, you can.
Don't trust people who tell you that they've took your car to Fraser Island.
Like we said though, it's a different island every time you come. Like this time, it just wasn't going to cut it. But it is what it is. It's a learning experience and cost us a bit of money, but you know, it's what it is. Right, here's the room. Walk in, bathroom on the right. And then some tea making facilities. Nice fridge there. Megan's already fallen asleep.
I forgot what mattresses are supposed to feel.
And air conditioning. TV. And we've got this beautiful balcony. Thankfully, money fixes problems.
And also, like, it wasn't stupid amount.
No, it wasn't. So the hotel room was $250 a night because they didn't have the $200 a night cheap one. They didn't have any of those cheap rooms.
That's
but
£250 total for the 2 nights.
Yep.
And then the tour was $260
per person.
per person. So that's £260 total for the tour. So we probably paid around £300 for everything.
Yeah, including our ferry here.
Per person.
So, and that's probably what, like a maybe a bit more expensive than what the 2 night.
Yeah.
But you don't get to stay in like a 5-star hotel or whatever and have a pool and posh stuff, you know, and air conditioning and things.
It is what it is. We've got to make the most of it now. We've spent the money.
And also
the car's okay. We're
That's
not
the
going to
thing.
have to pay stupid amounts to get it fixed because we went too far, because we were too stubborn. Car's okay. We're okay.
And we met some really nice people along the way today, all the Australian people that we met. You know, I feel like people back home might, in that situation, just be like swearing and getting annoyed at you. Literally everyone was just nice and helpful. And like we asked them advice, like, do you think we're going to be able to make it to Lake Mackenzie? Do you reckon we'll be able to?
We said, like, tell us straight, yes or no. And they were like, well, I wouldn't do it.
Like,
And
you're
we
not
were
going to
like,
make
right.
it. You're going to get stuck. Like, and these people were driving the big cars. They've done it loads before. It's their back garden sort of thing. So, you know, it's a learning experience.
And now we have a nice comfy bed, so we've just got to make the most of it.
Exactly. We're not going to spend a lot of time in the room other than sleeping. We're going to go unpack some stuff from the car into our rucksacks, bring them into the room, and then make the most of the facilities Megan's already passed out.
We spent the afternoon at the pool, which was quite nice actually.
Very nice.
And then we're coming out for like a small hike this evening. So it says it's like return around an hour.
Yeah, so we've come out at sort of like 5:30. It's kind of overcast, so it's kind of getting dark already, but sunset's not until 6:30, so we'll be there and back before it's like starts to get properly dark.
And we're just about to pass the dingo fence.
Yeah, so that means that
So basically, because we're in a resort, everything's fenced. Obviously, we actually want to see dingoes, so we have to walk past it.
to get out. Now we just need to work out how we can get on to where we need to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember what this track was called. What was it called?
The maybe like sandy viewpoints.
Something like that. But it's like like you said, it's a short walk from the resort where we're staying at the Kingfisher. Just because something for us to do this evening, really, because obviously not everything's gone to plan, but in some ways it's very, you know, it's nice for us, and you got to make the best of a bad situation, and this is
We'll still have a good time. We'll still see lots of the island,
and we'll see more of the island on the day tour thing than what we would do without, just because those big, I guess, four-wheel drive car bus things that they've got go like a hell of a lot further than what you could in the car because they're not tide dependent.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see right up to the top of the island that we wouldn't otherwise. And also because of the tides being so bad, there won't be many people at those spots when we're there, because it will just be people that are on those huge vehicles, because you won't be able to get up there on like a normal four-wheel drive car.
But yeah, we're heading for a walk now. Hopefully we'll have some views to show you.
Here we go, through the dingo fence.
Did a shortcut onto the beach. family who rescued us yesterday offered us to go out with them this morning to Lake Mackenzie, as they had 2 free seats in their car, which is so lovely.
Yeah, it's so nice.
So we're going to go meet them now in reception and then head across to Lake Mackenzie in their very high clearance 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, we'll show you what the real sort of 4-wheel drive that you want to be driving around.
We've got a story to tell.
It's all worked out well.
Yeah. Made it to Lake Mackenzie. It is just as beautiful as you think it will be, and it's so much bigger as well.
Yeah, it's huge.
But
But it's good that it's big because it's like enough space to accommodate loads of people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a swim.
Decided to come out for another little walk before dinner, just for along the beach, just because you do have a small chance of seeing dingoes, and we're just kind of walking along.
Finally successful.
Yeah, we're just kind of walking along, and Megan's like, Morgan. And I was just kind of like blissfully unaware walking along, but he was hiding out in the little sort of, what would you call it, like driftwood.
Yeah, there was loads of like driftwood obviously washed up on the beach.
What is it, Meg? It's just over there. Don't worry, mate, we'll be going now.
Yeah, just saw like a little flash of brown basically go past. It was such a good experience. Like, I feel happy now.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like
It is cool.
It's like, obviously this is the only place that you can see the dingoes, so, and we really wanted to see one.
And we successfully refrained from going near it and trying to be its friend.
Trying to pet it. Yeah, then it started howling.
Yeah, it was just a really cool experience. And also, the family who took us to Lake Mackenzie, they really wanted to see a dingo.
Yeah.
So we texted them, and then they met us on the beach and saw the dingo as well. So I feel like we've
repaid that kindness.
the kindness.
Yeah. Because the girls literally in the car on the way to the lake this morning were like, when are we going to see a dingo?
Yeah, and they're like looking the whole way.
And we wanted to get like a dingo toy from the shop and stuff.
So I just feel like
yeah.
we've given them a little something back, which,
In return.
yeah, obviously it doesn't match up, but you
Yeah.
know.
We had a good time. And also on that drive back from Lake Mackenzie as well, there was someone that's like in a similar vehicle to us that was like stuck like 10 times worse than we
Yeah.
were. They
You had to get like snatched back.
Yeah, they had to snatch with the snatch cable, pull him right out of the sand, and we just kind of like drove
And also
past,
there was
didn't we?
loads more cars backed up, so we don't feel
Yeah.
as bad. But we did go, Morgan went and helped. So again, we're paying the kindness from the people who helped us yesterday.
But everyone's really helpful, but I guess also
Yeah.
in those scenarios they want to get past and
Yeah,
back to what they're doing as well, so it's kind of like 50-50. Today we're on our, I think it's called like a beauty spots explorer tour or something like that, which will allow us to see all the things on the island that we would have wanted to see, and hopefully some more bits when we were planning on driving the car around.
Yeah, the van is an absolute beast. Like,
It's a
it's
monster.
driving so quick through the sand. Somebody else got stuck in the exact same spot that we did
In like a very similar car
as
to us.
well.
So I feel like, yeah, it's just like we felt like we were the only people on that day, but
Yeah.
really it
Not the
happens
case.
more often than you might think. But yeah, everyone just moves out the way for the big bus because it hurtling along at like, I don't know, whatever speed that he was doing was a lot faster than 30 kilometres an hour that you're supposed to be going anyway.
Yeah, so first stop of the day, we're back at Lake Mackenzie. It's early morning now, so it should be pretty quiet. We are lucky that we spent the whole morning there
Oh,
yesterday.
just walked into a spider's web.
So
I'll be careful of them things.
yeah, we spent the whole morning here yesterday, but it is so beautiful.
Yeah,
Like an extra hour is great. So I think if the hour was the only time you had there, you'd probably leave
wanting more. Yeah, so we're lucky in that sense that we've got this extended period of time, just stuff moving around in the jungle around us that we're keeping an eye on.
But yeah, stop for one of the day tour.
Yeah, it cost us like 130 quid each, which is expensive of course, but it was the only way that we were going to get everything in and fit it all in. But you can see whether it's worthwhile for yourself, and you know, hopefully you can come in a four-wheel drive that you could drive yourself around the island and not get stuck. We had a beautiful walk through the jungle.
Central Station.
Yeah. So it was like at Central Station. There's I think it's called like Wangaloa, something like
a
that.
campsite.
Yeah, it's like the closest campsite to like the other side of the island, and then yeah, it's an old logging camp basically. And then when the logging industry finished, it sort of just became like a campsite and like a relic to the past. But we had a nice walk along there, along the creek, and then headed over here for some
like an early lunch. It was good food though.
Yeah, it was like a buffet selection, some good food. There's loads of different options, like there was like chicken legs, noodles, pasta, and there's like a shepherd's pie, some fish. There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
Because there's even like salad and whatnot for the vegans. Just trying to think of who would just eat salad. Health conscious people, I guess. But yeah, it's been great so far. We're just gonna have a little walk down to the beach. We're at the resort on the other side of the island. And then it's coming in on high tide, so that would be a very unideal time to be driving down the beach. But for us in this big monster truck buff, we'll be all right, I think. We'll see.
We hope.
Yeah, we're just going to head up the east coast now to like a few of the different spots. Next stop of the day, we're at Eli Creek for some tubing down the river. Thankfully, we brought some floaties with us, but we didn't have the puff to blow them up. It would have taken about a year, so thankfully our guide has got some for us. Shipwreck. I can't remember the date whether he said it was shipwrecked up here, but he said that it was doing the journeys between Sydney and Auckland. It was like a speedboat basically, and then in the Second World War it was commissioned to like rescue prisoners and take them back to Australia and New Zealand. We then head a bit further north up the east coast to the Pinnacles. Now we would have liked to head a bit further north than that to the Champagne Pools, but the timings on our tour didn't allow for it. But we'd recommend that you do that if you can. We then saw another little dingo and then made our way back to catch our 5 p.m. ferry back to the mainland after an incredible time on Kagari. We are safely back on the mainland after our ferry. We got back from the tour at just like around 4:30,
Yeah.
and then thankfully the people at the reception helped us change our ferry to the 5 o'clock ferry so that we were able to do the tour today, and it meant that we had basically like an extra half of a day on the island, which was really nice. And also our original ferry back was from a different, it's like
port.
that Wongabaloa Creek, but they have a port at the end of the creek, and obviously with the car not being able to get through over there, so we wouldn't have been able to do it. But when we were checking in and asking for a room, etc., they sorted all that out for us, which was very nice of them. And yeah, it was a lovely place to stay. Like the staff there were particularly lovely, and the guy that was doing the tour today as well, he was like a really good
the tour was
guide.
really good.
It was really good, but obviously it's kind of what you expect if you pay that much money for a tour. It's just we're not used to going on that type of tour after.
And we saw 2 more dingo pups.
Of course, yeah, on the drive
so we
back.
saw 1 adult dingo overall and 2 pups. And then today, once we got off the ferry,
we were
driving and we drove past the load of kangaroos. So I just pulled up on the side, and that's like our first proper kangaroo experience as
In
well.
500 metres, turn left onto Boundary Road.
Yeah, we're feeling good.
We've had some good animal encounters so far. Yeah, we're doing well. Need to see some wallabies.
Some koalas and some wallabies, and we'll be happy.
Yeah, we'll be getting along well on our way. But it's getting dark now. We were kind of debating whether we would drive
Turn
an
left
hour
onto Boundary Road.
sort of to this free camp that's a bit closer to where we're heading to tomorrow. But instead we've decided, just because it's pretty much like getting dark now, we don't really want to drive an hour, because the last half an hour
Continue
will
on
be in the
Boundary
dark.
Road for 3 kilometres.
And the thing is, that's like dusk, and this time of night is when all the kangaroos run into the road. So it's like, we're tired, obviously we've had a full day. We don't want to just risk anything, you know.
Yeah.
Murphy's fine, we're fine. We didn't have to pay to tow him across, so let's not end up in a situation.
Yeah, so we're gonna park up tonight, get an early night, and then we're gonna head to the gym in town tomorrow morning, do a workout and have a shower nice and early, and then head over to Noosa for the next instalment of the Australia vlogs. But we really hope that you've enjoyed our Fraser Island experience. It's definitely, we wouldn't recommend doing it exactly like we did it, but you can learn from our mistakes.
I would recommend doing it yourself though.
Yeah.
Like, if obviously you could either rent, or if you've got a suitable car, and then there's so many amazing camping spots on the beach that you can book for super cheap. And just sort of like head to the visitor centre, make an itinerary, and just do it yourself. That's what I would say.
Another cool thing that we saw was there's basically walking tracks, and obviously lots of camping opportunities across the island. And it's a big island, but it's not huge. Like if you're like a trekker or someone that likes walking and then camping and stuff like that, you could theoretically get the ferry onto the island and just hike,
like backpack
your way across, and then stay at different camp spots, and you would basically be able to see everything. So that would be an interesting way of doing it that I haven't heard of. But all the walking trails it connects everything. Like from the Kingfisher Resort, you could walk to Lake Mackenzie, which then you could walk to the central station, and then you could walk to the east coast.
And you could theoretically as well start on, say, the east side of the island, and then leave via Rainbow Beach Barge.
Tavistock Street.
So that obviously you're starting and ending in different points. It just depends.
There's loads of different ways of basically doing it. We saw someone on like a dirt bike that was doing it. With those dirt bikes with those big wheels. That was chuddering along absolutely fine. Loads of different ways of doing it, but yeah, don't do it how we did it.
No.
But we would recommend staying at that hotel.
We had an experience. We met some lovely people, and all is good in the world.
It is absolutely.
In 600 metres, turn left onto Moonlight Avenue.
Sorry, you can hear There's Sally sat nav telling us where we're going. But yeah, we would recommend staying at that hotel as well and doing the tour if you're off for a more luxurious experience,
definitely.
because it was lovely there. It was pretty good, and it's like in a good location and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we really hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please make sure to like and subscribe, drop us a comment and tell us how silly we were taking the Mitsubishi Outlander. But as always, we'll see you in the next one.